Yes, good morning all. Good morning all. How's everyone today on this Monday morning? Well, here in London, well, it's not raining for now, but it's January, probably rain later on anyway. But I'll tell you where it was raining yesterday, and that was at Fratton Park, where we beat Portsmouth 4-1 in what I thought was an interesting cup tie. And I've got my man Akpos here to dissect the game, and we'll be talking other things as well. Akpos, how you doing, my brother?
Well, I'm doing good. Good to be here on the channel in the new year. So, happy new year to you, Brenny. Happy new year to everybody on the
Of
chat.
course, and to yourself.
And congratulations on hitting the 100 subscriber mark. If you're new to the channel, you're just seeing the stream for the very first time, please hit that subscribe button and also leave the stream a like. So, big up to everybody in the chat. Happy new year. Good to be here on the channel once again. Thank you for having me, Brenny.
Yeah, always, man. You know you're always welcome on here, man. You know what I mean? And you were, like I said, I'll never forget, because you, along with my brother Damos, you were my first ever on the show. So you know what I mean, the first one. So that never forget that at all. But yeah, we got some people in here as well. Always got to give props. We've got AFC in the house as well. Bernie, congratulations on reaching 104 subscribers, bro. Wrote it 200 incoming. Yeah, thank you, AFC. Yeah, it took a while coming as well. But also it was a case of being busy and now I'll be able to do a lot more shows now because a laptop that I had, it's still good, but it just doesn't seem great for streaming. So I've got that sorted out now. So I'll be able to do more shows and appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much. Really do. Yeah, not a great performance. Scoreline discredits Portsmouth, however, job done. Yeah, I mean, it's I think for us, I wasn't expecting a great performance, and the reason being for me is probably because when you're playing a championship club, these championship clubs they really know how to they can cause an upset. They'll fight to the very end, win, lose or draw, and the conditions weren't the greatest, but yeah, I think if we was playing them at home, I think the performance would have been better. But I think we did enough. We did more than enough to, like you say, job done to get over the line. So big up for you for there. Big up to Chris. Well, big up, lads. Hope you're well. Yeah, we're good, Chris. We're good. Big up to yourself. Hope everything went well today. And yeah, let us know. Tell people, let's get this legend to 200 subs. Not be lazy. I'm not going to say that word, but yeah. No, thank you, man. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate that from yourselves. Big up to yourselves. Yeah, right. Well, the game at Boss. What were your thoughts yesterday? Where can I begin? Yeah. Well, the line, we saw the lineup, right? We saw the lineup, and I actually thought Arteta was going with I thought he was going with 4-4-2. What was your thoughts on the lineup? Because I thought it was very attacking, and I thought this surely looks like a 4-4-2 because I'm thinking who's going to be playing in number 6, and it looked like Marino was playing in the 6, and Ethan Waneri was playing in the number 8. So, what's your thoughts on the lineup?
Well, firstly, I would say the lineup for me, I loved it because, going into the game, I was discussing with some fellow Arsenal fans on the Amory group chat, and I was not expecting Ethan Waneri to start, coupled with the fact of how he has struggled for minutes in recent time, and I was surprised when the team list came out and Ethan Waneri was on the team list, and I was like, oh, that's a good one now. At least this young lad is going to get some minutes to get some game time under his bed, some match minutes under his belt, because I think the likes of Norgard have really struggled for game time,
Yeah.
especially this season. So I think I was excited that Norgard was on the list. Inter Waneri was also on the list. Iberichi Az, another player who struggled for minutes and struggled in his form in recent time, was also on the list. So I was satisfied with how Mikel, spread the game time across to these players who have not really played a good amount of minutes so far this season. So I was satisfied with the list that I put out, and I also liked how it brought Mikel Merino deep in the number 6 position to make room for Eitan Wanderi also in the midfield, because I was expecting Norgard to play in the number 6, but playing Norgard in the centre back position, left a space in the midfield for Eitan Waneri. So I love that Mikel Arteta came up with a way to give everyone who has not really played minutes in this game. That was vital for me, because I think these guys need minutes. We don't know when we are going to call upon these players in any moment in the season, because like we all know, it's a marathon. It's we are going to need everybody to contribute their own quarter, no matter how small it's going to be. I think I was happy that almost everyone got quality amounts of minutes, to stay sharp, to also get that match fitness under their belt. So I was satisfied with the starting 11 from Mikel Arteta yesterday.
Brilliant. Yeah, man. So I've just got just a little something here from Steve Oates. I'm sure he's all
Yeah.
right.
Big up, Steve. Big up, Steve, by the way.
Really, I'm not. The only days I'm actually free on Fridays.
Okay.
Really free. I barely do it for never a foul.
So he's not free today, be free on Fridays. Okay. No worries. But he was busy. Seems okay. And yeah. So from that, let's talk about the first goal, because it was funny and it wasn't funny. And I was on a watch along. On the Football Takeover, and subscribe to the Football Takeover, by the way.
Big shout
with Bobby and Ali, and I was in front of him, and as Bishop scored, they actually thought I was kidding. And you know what I mean? And I thought, well, that's no joke at all. You know what I mean? What was going through your mind when Portsmouth scored that first goal?
When they scored, I was happy that we are conceding in the game. But I said to myself, now after conceding, we have to respond immediately as soon as possible, and we needed to score multiple goals, because for me, I think if they score one, then you have to give them a bashing. And I think we responded in kind afterwards when they scored, but that goal also told us that these guys were match rusty. This team, a lot of changes were made. Some players were playing together for the very first time in some partnership on the pitch. So I can't really, I can't really complain too much about the goal. I think it's a goal that we could have done better defensively for. But I think, when you look at the back four, you look at some guys who were playing, I think I can excuse them for conceding the goal, and credit to Portsmouth, because I think they did all the things right to get the ball in the back of the net. So I need to give them the credit for that. But I can't really complain too much about the goal. But when the goal went in, I was upset that we were conceding. But afterwards, we responded, in kind afterwards, and I'm okay. I'm okay with how we considered. I think credit to Portsmouth, because they did the right things, and we failed to also do our job defensively. So I will give the opposition credit for the goal.
Yeah, of course. And commiserations to my guy out there, Nick O'Neill. I haven't been in contact with him for a while, but he's a big Portsmouth fan. Someone I worked with 30 years ago. Top guy, big Pompey fan. So when the equaliser came along, though, it was, for me, it felt like it was a sigh of relief, because I thought, okay, we've got the goal now. It was a very scrappy affair, but it was down as Andre Dozzell own goal, but I actually thought, but it was. And at first, I thought Norgard did get a touch, But it
I
looked
thought so
like
too.
I think he already got. I think he already got a touch in once. I think he got a touch and the ball was already in the net. I think that's what it looked like. So on your on the equalising goal, was it like basically for you? Was it like a sigh of relief, and you think, yeah, you know what, we can push on from here?
Yeah, well, when the goal went in, I was relieved, and I think I was expecting us to score as soon as possible. So I was not really surprised that we responded when we did. For me, I expect us to beat Portsmouth very comfortably, because looking at the players we had on display yesterday, yes, some of them had not really gotten minutes on their name, but I think that was pretty much like a team that could play in the Premier League and get the job done, because there was so much quality on the pitch. There was so much quality on the field of play. So I look at the team and I'm like, oh, going into this game against Portsmouth, I was expecting us to score a lot of goals. So when the equalizer came in, I was relieved, yes. And from then onwards, I was okay. Now let's beat them properly. Let's eliminate every mistakes at the back. No more conceding any goal, and score as much goal as possible. And if you look at the amount of chances we created afterwards, after
Yeah.
the equalizer, I could tell you that okay, the first half could have ended in a way I imagine. So I want to give credit to the guys with how they responded. When the equalizer came rightly, I was very relieved.
Yeah, yeah. Likewise. I mean, it's like it was for me after that equaliser. I thought, you know what, the chances we were creating, I thought a goal's coming. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And then when Martinelli's goal came along, I mean, in 25 minutes, I mean, to be honest with you, I was very pleased. But it was something different, wasn't it, for Martinelli? Because normally when we're scoring from corners, you know, you'd expect maybe Gabriel, of course,
Mm.
Timber as well. He's got himself up. I've seen Christian Norgard as well. When it comes to set pieces, I know he scored from a set piece in pre-season friendly. I think it was Villarreal. So, but I was not expecting Gabriel Martinelli to pop up with that glancing header. Was you when he scored? Was you expecting that? Because I wasn't.
I was not at all, at all. If we're going to score from the set piece, the likes of Martinelli are not, one of the guys that I would expect to put the ball on the back of the net, because we expect our bigger guys, our guys who we are more used to, getting on the end of these crosses from the corner kicks, from the set piece. So I was surprised that it was Martinelli. And for me, the way he attacked the ball like a number 9 there. That's the way, a number 9 will be attacking the ball. And to see him in that position and attacking the ball like that, I was like, oh, now this is a different version of Martinelli. Because when we are getting, the set piece, I'm not really, pinpointing Martinelli as one of the guys that, okay, Martinelli can score from this situation. Martinelli can, give us a goal from this set piece. Martinelli is not one of the first names that I think a lot of us will want to put on that list. So I was surprised that I was, attacking the ball the way he did, and the way he finished it. I think for me, that skill comes more from, you don't see that very often from a winger. You see that more often from a number 9 kind of player.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And yeah, well, I mean, and the position he got into as well. What I liked about him was that, you see, with our defenders, our centre backs in particular, even Timber when he goes up. Have you seen when they go from the deliveries from, it could be from Rice or Saka? Have you seen when they send the ball to the far post most of the time?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we had near post. We were always about near post flick ons 30, 35 years ago. Because with near post flick ons, it was Steve Bold with his flick on, and then he would flick it on to Tony Adams, Alan Smith, even little Ian Wright used to get them as well. You know what I mean? But that for me was kind of I'd say a flick. I wouldn't say it was a flick on, because he actually guided it towards goal. But
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it'd be nice. I would love to see Martinelli or anyone if he's not playing, get also get into the near post in case the ball doesn't go to the far post. I would like to see that more often, like we did yesterday. You know what I mean? And then we had what was it? The oh gosh, the penalty incident.
Yeah.
Well,
No need.
Bobby thought Bobby thought it was soft, and but I thought, yeah, it was, but I have seen them given and I've seen them not given, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, but I did look at it again. I did look at it again last night, and I thought, nah, I didn't think it was a pen. Looking at it at first, I thought I did, but and then when you're given that opportunity, I mean, what sort of penalty was that? I mean, at the time we was 2-1 up, but I'm thinking, gosh, I just hope that never happens in a massive Premier League game. You know what I mean? Or a crucial game. If it's 0-0 or if it's 1-1 and it's like a minute to go and then you got Nani and then thinking, oh, please don't do that, man. Or big Champions League game. What's your thoughts on the penalty yesterday? We can laugh about it now.
Yeah, exactly. With how the game went on afterwards. I love that we did not really give too much meaning to Noni Madueke missing the penalty there, because I think aside the penalty miss, he had a good game. It was very direct, had to assist. It was putting the Portsmouth fullback on toast. I think Noni for me is is a very direct threat. I love that. And when he picked up the ball after getting the penalty, which I think, in my opinion, I think that was the penalty. Some people might think, oh, it was what's it called? It was soft. But for me, if you have to put your arm around the player like that, definitely it has to be given as a foul. Because if it happens outside of the box, we are going to be calling that as a foul, in my opinion. So that was a penalty.
Free kick, yeah.
I know you don't agree, Brenny. But when Nani picked up the penalty, picked up the ball after the ref gave the penalty, my initial thought was, okay, maybe he's trying to take away the pressure from maybe Gabriel Jesus or someone else who's going to take it. Because we've seen our players do it time after time when, one player picks up the ball, takes off the pressure, and it drops the ball on the spot. Then the designated penalty taker comes on and take it. But with no Gyökeres on the pitch, no Saka on the pitch, no Odegaard on the pitch, I was also interested to see who was the designated penalty taker on the pitch. But Noni decided to take responsibility. I don't know if he was, the lead penalty taker. I think that's something they would know behind the scenes. But I think the penalty from him afterwards was poor, because from that range, for an attacking player, he needs to be hitting the target at least. I would have preferred if he hit the target, the keeper saves it. Okay, that's something we can stomach. But for him to miss by that much, for me, I think that was poor. From Noni, I expect way more better. I think this is where Saka differentiates a lot of other wingers, a lot of other of our attacking players, because when it comes to moments like that, when Saka steps up, is taking responsibility, is putting the ball in the back of the net. There is the end product. I think this is one area Noni really needs to add to his game, the end product. When he steps up, when he gets into the dangerous position, he needs to score goals. He needs to show up when the team needs him. So, all-round play, Noni, I've been impressed with what I've been saying. I've been impressed with how direct he is, how skillful, how he's taking on his man. I think he takes on his player even way more than Saka would do it. Bar the Liverpool game, with how Saka was, putting Kekes on toast. That was pretty, especially in the first half, that was pretty much what I would see from Noni. But I saw Saka bringing that to his game, giving, how would I say it? Dribbling more. So I think Noni does that more, but Noni needs to have the end product to his game. When he needs to score goals, he needs to assist. So I think the penalty yesterday from Noni was poor, but overall play, I think Noni did good. He had gave a good account of himself. 2 assists. I can't really complain, but he needs to get so much better when it comes to the end product. When he gets to dangerous position, he needs to score. He needs to get the ball on target. I think if Noni can, get better at this, score more goals, get more assists, I think that would keep Saka even more on his toes. I would love, to to see him put Saka for who should be starting, because I think Saka might not be having the best of the season, but when it matters most, is used. You can see Saka give you a goal, give you an assist. So I think I want to see that more from Nani. Direct play. I love it. It's fast. It's quick. It can dribble, can play in tight corners. But I want him to improve with his end product. Let him get more goals. Let him get more assists.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And with Nani as well, he has a middle name at the moment, doesn't he, of only scoring the Champions League. So, so I think he's only got what, you know what I mean? Because I think all his goals for us have come in the Champions League. That is something, you know. But and did you know that the strike against Bruges was last month's Arsenal's goal of the month?
That was a beautiful one.
So yeah, it was. But he does need to show more of his end product, because I mean I do love him as a player, and he keeps improving all the time. You know what I mean? But you know what? It wasn't costly. And then exactly. Martinelli as well. And Martinelli, even though he's scoring hat-trick, say he could have had 5, and he was just on it. And yet at the end of the day, you can only score against who you got in front of you. And then in the second half as well, I thought, well, the Portsmouth players did switch off when we had that free kick, and I thought from when Jesus was given the ball, it was those types of balls that the type of balls we want to see into the box through the middle or through the right, the left. That's what we want to see for Victor Gyökeres to get on the end of. But that Jesus ball was perfect. Put well on the plate for Martinelli.
Yeah.
And it was a great. I thought it was a great finish. You must have been impressed with that finish as well. Well, yeah, as well as the pass.
I was. I thought it was great vision from Miles Lewis Kelly there to kickstart it, because I think it all started from the vision from Miles Lewis Kelly, and that tells you that that's the midfielder's eye to see the pass, to make the pass, take the free kick as at when he did, because he saw the setup of the Portsmouth player that these guys, they are out of their system, they are out of position. Let me take this free kick rapidly, and he did that. I think that was the catalyst that led to the goal. So shout out to Miles Lewis Kelly, a player also who I think is struggling for form right now, but I love that he also got some minutes yesterday. Defensively, I thought he struggled again, but I love to see him get on the ball the way he was, inverting, getting into this midfield position. I think that would help his confidence, because I think Miles is a confidence player. The minutes yesterday, it's something that it could build on. So I think that's a break. You just need to continue to put more break and get better to the Miles Lewis Kelly that we all want to see. So shout out to everybody that contributed in that goal. And you made a very good point there. Those are the kind of crosses. Those are the kind of spaces we want to see Victor Gyökeres in. We want to see the team putting him in those kind of situation where it can just put the ball on the back of the net, because I think that was a finisher's kind of goal from Gabriel Martinelli, and credit to Martinelli also for being in the position as at when we put the ball in the box, because if we notice, Gabriel Jesus moved to a different position, and I think that was something they were doing very well yesterday. When Jesus is dropping off, Martinelli is going in a number 9 position. They were switching positions very frequently in the game. So I love that, and that is one understanding we know that Martinelli has got with Gabriel Jesus when they play together. I think it's something that they've had from playing together in the last couple of years, and also with time, Victor Gyökeres will also have this kind of understanding with our other forward players. So I just hope that the team would continue to create more opportunities for our strikers, because strikers without opportunity would be like a lion without a tooth. They would have no threat. They would not be able to impact the game. So we need to put our strikers in situations where they would thrive. And yesterday we did that a lot for Gabriel Martinelli, and credit to him also for being in those positions.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And yeah, I was going to say the same thing about the telepathy between Jesus and Martinelli. It's like they bring the best out of each other, you know.
Mm.
And I just hope if there's time, we won't see it very often, but I feel that there's times this season where the two of them playing together, you just know they're gonna do something. They're gonna create something. So yeah, no, big out to him. And then you had another Noni corner um, for the fourth goal, and Martinelli again. And yeah, it was like, wow, lightning surely does strike twice with Gabriel Martinelli, and it's his first hat trick, first ever hat trick. I didn't even realise that, because I think before I know he scored braces, but yeah. What was your take on the fourth goal? I mean, the game was over anyway, but fourth
Yeah.
goal
After we
was
missed the penalty, in my head, I was like, nah, we need to score 4-5 in this game. And I wanted to see our players show that hunger in front of goal, because I thought we wasted a lot of chances, especially in the first half. We could have easily ended the first half, maybe leading 4-1 or 3-1 at least in the barest minimum. So in the second half, I wanted to see a reaction. I wanted to see hunger in front of goal. And Gabriel Martinelli showed that hunger. And credit to Noni Madueke, good cross, Martinelli getting on the end of it again. And like I said earlier on, we were seeing a different side to Martinelli's game. We're seeing a player who has got, that awareness to be positioned on the first post, and with the skill he used to, head the ball. I think that is pretty much what you see from a number 9. Some persons have been saying, oh, throw Martinelli into the number 9 sometimes. But I think the way he played yesterday, he played like a player who could say, okay, if push comes to shove, maybe sometimes he could, he could get a shot in a number 9 position. But I think he's adding variety to his game. We've criticized him for its end product a lot of times. I think Martinelli has been wasteful in front of goal. But yesterday we saw Martinelli who looked sharp, who looked like he had this hunger to score goals. I think he could have scored maybe 4 goals, but for him to get his first hat-trick yesterday, I think that was a good one for him. And credit to Gabriel Martinelli, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And one thing I will mention as well, and I was always going to mention it in the show, is got to big up to what's it, the youngest player in the FA Cup in Marley Summer. And I mean, he would have been pleased yesterday. I hope his family was there watching as well. But when he came on, he could play right back, play centre back. And when he came on for Gabriel, it's like you can see he looked comfortable. And what I've loved about our younger players is that regardless of what position they're playing, they always look very comfortable on the ball. And I wanted to and basically with Marley as well, I think it's perfect timing, not just to talk about him, and hopefully his development will move forward, will go tenfold. You know what I mean? But what did you make of the record breaker yesterday? And do you think maybe we'll see him in the next round of the cup, depending on who we play, or and do you think this is someone that will probably end up go out on loan maybe next season, or what do you think the future holds for Marley Town?
Well, for me, I was happy for him. I think it's like you said, his family will be happy. They'll be proud to see him make his debut at the FA Cup, because this is a young player. I think I saw something from the hand of Arsenal also that has been at the club at age 8 or 9 or something thereabout. So it's been with us for years. He has developed. He has gone pro. So I'm happy to see yet another product coming from the amazing Alien Academy. And I think it's something that would, also tell us that we are also creating our own quality players. We are getting some of the best players from around the globe to the football club, but we are also, producing some of the best young talents out there from our own in-house academy. So I think it looked comfortable, just like you said yesterday. and I was, looking at him, and I was like, okay, this guy looks calm. He looks, he wants to play on the ball too. So I think I want to see more from him going forward. I don't know what's going to happen in the next round of the FA Cup. Now, hopefully, we have some defenders out injured, the likes of Mosquera, so likes of Ricardo Calafiori. If these guys come back, it's definitely going to be difficult for Salmon to get minutes. But I love that, Mikel is also putting trust in our young talents, giving them minutes also, because we don't know where we're going to call upon them in the season. So I think it's a good sign. It's a good one for every kid playing at ill end. I think they are also seeing a pathway that we can spend millions of pounds to get the best players in, but we are also going to give our young talent room to develop. We're also going to give them a pathway to the first team. So I think we are, as a club, we are doing all the right things right now, and long may continue.
Yeah, 100%. And on that note as well, as we discussed off camera, that the breaking news about Per Mertesacker as well, and 8 years. He was. I didn't realise it was that long. So he basically, so when he retired from us, 8 years, the academy as the academy manager, and he's stepping down. We don't know why. We don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's moving on to bigger and better things. Who knows? But I have to give him a lot of praise, and also in terms of how, in the last few years, the players that he's worked with and he's helped develop. You know what I mean? And we know who the big ones are already, because some of them in the first team, or around first squad as well. And also I would like to say to him as well, in terms of he helped out, because he helped out my partner's second cousin with Nathan Butler-Deji. And even though Nathan's left the club now, which is a shame, because I thought a few years ago he was very quick, end product. When I see him in the video, or if he was playing in the under 18s, under 21s, have the end product. And I thought last season he worked so hard. He was one of the most improved academy players that we had. And even when he was 22, and then he made his debut. He made his debut last season, Shakhtar Donetsk, and it was only given a couple of minutes, and in the Champions League. And then he came on against Ipswich away, and he had a good. I don't know if you remember, he had a good effort at Ipswich as well, which the keeper tipped over and saved. But he was one of those. He was one of those that I felt that he could have helped. I thought he could have helped Arsenal last season, and I just think the way that that the academy, in particular, I know Per Mertesacker, and there was someone else, can't remember his name. They helped him immensely, and he's now playing for Lausanne in Switzerland, and he's not doing too bad over there either. But they improved Nathan incredibly, in my opinion. And it's just a shame that we're not seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. But who knows? Maybe if I could get a few strings, maybe I'll probably have Nathan on the chat maybe later in the year. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Hopefully, we want to see him on the channel, Brenny.
Yeah, it'd be good, man. It'd be good. You know what I mean? I haven't met him yet, so you know what I mean. But I know at some point I will. You know what I mean? And big up to Nathan out there. I hope you're doing all right out there. So let's just go into the chat as well. I know it's been okay. Yeah, job interview went ahead this time. They apologised for me a lot for Saturday. Went smoothly. Nothing to be nervous about. Chris, you have got this, man. You've got this. And if you don't get this job, then I think you should be the managing director of Carlisle Football Club. I think you'd be a great director. You'd be the youngest director ever in history, in my opinion. and I think you will get back in the Football League. Big up to Dylan,
Big up,
the
Dylan.
man. Yeah, you know what I mean. And what's it was well. Yep, it's all good, man. It's all good. You know, and obviously with Dylan as well. Please sub to his channel, Fear the Cannon, and also please sub to only Chris Welch. You know, I mean, you'll get great content as well from Chris with regards to Liverpool, Carlisle, darts as well. We chat about there will come a day where we'll have to do a dart show session and that, and yeah, take from there with the Premier League coming up. Yeah. Yeah, I hope everything's well. But we'll find out later on. See how he's getting on. No, he's got a hospital appointment today anyway, Bobby. But yeah, he's a tough one. I'm sure he'll be all right today. We wish him all the best. Cup chasers. Big up Cup chasers. What's up, guys? Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, big up to you as well, man. Big up to you as well. You know what I mean? And thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Music to Carlisle players and staff is. Yeah, man, you do a job there, Chris. You know what I mean? Do a job. You know, definitely. Yeah. I have to come down there one day, man. But you know something, Chris, I will say, I know you all got knocked out the FA trophy, but you know something? I felt you boys could have got to Wembley with the FA trophy, yeah, because if you'd have got to Wembley, seriously, if you'd have got to Wembley, right, me and you could have linked up. I mean, Wembley's only up the road from me, so we could have linked up, man. So you missed out. That would have been good, FA trophy. But I know, all jokes aside, promotion is more important, and you need to get back into League Two. So big up to yourself. Big up to Cup Chasers. Just found the pod. Keep up the good work, James. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be on a lot more often now anyway. So yeah, but thank you. I mean, so yeah, so basically, so yeah, we've dissected the game and all, and I just want to talk about individual performances, and one performance that came to mind yesterday, and I thought he grew into the game, and then he got substituted. I was thinking, why? Was Ethan Waneri? I thought he did really well in that 8 yesterday, and this guy this youngster, he's super talented, and the reason why I don't want him to go out on loan is because knowing our luck, Akpos, sod's law, if he goes out on loan, we're going to be taking knocks. Odegaard could pull up with an injury, you know, he could, you know what I mean? And then it'd be Eze could have an injury, and then, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, you play Ethan Waneri. For me, that's the reason why I would not have him on loan, seriously, because we do get injuries, and I feel, I'm not wishing it on the players because you don't want none of our squad to get injured. But I feel, my friend, that it's going to be, if he does go out on loan, I feel there'll be maybe 2 or 3 players who will probably miss maybe 3 or 4 games, for example. And then you're thinking, well, where's Ethan? Oh no, he's out on loan. What's your take on Ethan's performance yesterday?
I think Ethan's performance was decent. I think I saw more from Ethan than I did from Eberichi Eze, because I was, you know, at some point I was looking for Eze on the pitch. But I think Ethan, we could see what he brings to the team. I think in both him and Eze, they like that match sharpness. With Ethan, I really wanted to see more from him, and I must say I was impressed for a player that had not played. I think he has barely even played at all in the last couple of games. So I think the way he performed yesterday, I loved that he was performing the way he was performing. And just like you, I wanted him to still be on the pitch when Mikel Arteta took him off. And for me, with Ethan, I think he's also a confidence player. He's a player who needs time, a player who needs to be playing to continue his development, because this is still a player that was still still developing. He's still very young lad. I think he's 18 now, right? So I think he needs minutes. And I also would agree with your decision, with you on the side of not wanting him to go on loan. Because I think just some days ago I was saying to fellow Arsenal fans that for me, I want, even if Ethan is not going to get a lot of minutes this season, I want him to be around this group because I think it would benefit from the mentality of being around a group that could potentially go on to win the league this season. So I want him to be with the team. Let him fight for fight for the place with the quality of players who are already ahead of him in the captain and Eze. I think he stands to gain from that mental strength, that mental toughness to also being in a championship, a potential championship winning team. So I think that would help his career. But I also understand that he needs the game minutes to develop. So for me, I would love to keep him this season. Let him be around the group. He's also very versatile. We don't know what we might call upon him. For me, he's a baller. He's a player that can play in multiple positions. He's a very direct player. And we saw how he was, very forward-minded thinking. When he takes the ball yesterday, he was twisting and turning and trying to play forward pass, trying to, take on players and all of that. That's what he brings to the team. That directness in the midfield and that attack-minded kind of style. So for me, I want him to be in around the team. I think he has a lot to learn from the likes of your Odegaard, the likes of your Eze, but he definitely needs some minutes. So I think for this, especially for this season, I want him to be in around the group. It should not be sent on loan. I want him to learn, and I think he has a lot to benefit from being in around this quality of players we have right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's also, he could also be one of our unsung heroes, in my opinion, as the season goes on. And I feel because and I feel we shouldn't let anyone go right now because we're still in 4 competitions.
Exactly.
Still a lot of games. It's important. Yeah, a hell of a lot of games. Compared to Man United, who I think they're only going to be playing 40 games a season. That is unheard of. Manchester United playing 40 games in a season. Wow, that is just unreal. Because I was thinking about that yesterday, and someone put it up. I think it was been Michael who put it in. I don't know if you saw it in one of our chats yesterday, in WhatsApp group chats. I thought that was just hilarious, man. Because sorry, man, shout out to United fans out there, but wow, 40 games. They could have 8 players out on loan. That'd be all right. Sorry. Oh dear. That's just funny. But yeah. So but getting back to yesterday as well. Another player I have to mention as well, and I think he can be an unsung hero this season as well. I'm a big fan of Christian Norgard, and I'll tell you what I love about Norgard is that this guy he's played Championship football, Brentford. He's come up into the Premier League. He's an international player as well, and I feel he has a big part to play this season, not just at centre back, but in midfield as well. Because if you look at it from our midfield, right? Say if Rice or Zubimendi, touch wood, I hope it doesn't happen. Just say in hindsight that those two were to get injured, Norgard would have to play.
Suspended.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. So even exactly suspensions. You know what I mean? And I think but Norgard for me, I think he can come in and do a job because what I love about him as well is that he's played teams like Portsmouth before. He knows what it takes as also to scrap. He knows he's got that determination. He knows how to fight. When sometimes when we've got our more cavalier footballers, and for some of them, no matter how good they are, some of them don't like to go to a cold, windy day somewhere. A big example I could use for that is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is the big example of that, right? They had some stars on the show, okay, against Macclesfield, and you had the likes of Wharton. You had you know what I mean? Even those types of players. They and they're thinking, oh, they've got to go down Macclesfield. They've got to fight. it's blustery conditions. The pitch isn't smooth. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is with Norgard, he's that type of player that can do that, can adjust to any conditions, any pitch you play on, regardless whether the pitch is terrible or whatever. And I'm a big fan of him. And what's your take of him? Because I think he's a very good squad player.
I totally agree with your take on Christian Nolgard. Yes, he's a fantastic squad player because there's a guy who has not gotten a lot of minutes, but every time we have called upon him, I think he has got the job done at centre back, in midfield.
Yeah.
So I think, and he has also joined this team as a very experienced player. You also talked about how he has played with Brentford in the Championship. He has come onto the Premier League. He's an international. Also, he joined us as the captain. So I look at him as one of the senior guys at the team, at the squad right now, and one of the leaders.
Yeah.
And just like you rightly said, is a player who can do a job for us in multiple positions. And like you said, is not afraid to, go to those grounds that they would want to play physical football, that they know that they can't match us in terms of the technical ability, but they want to go physical.
Yeah.
Guys like Christian Nolgard are not players that would shy away from that physical battle, from those physical duels. And for me, I think is a good asset to have in the team. Is a good asset, to have for, when we need to call upon somebody, that this guy is a seasoned player, a player who's experienced, a player who can come in anytime, not a kind of, I think coming to Arsenal, he understood his role. He understood that he's not going to play as much as he did with Brentford, but he's a player who has embraced that role very, very, very well. So credit to Christian Nolgard. And I love how every time we have called upon him so far, he has continued to, give a good account of himself and not let the level drop. And I hope that it continues on that trajectory for the remaining games in the season, because like you rightly said, we are still in 4 competitions. That's a lot of games still to play. We will definitely need to rotate the team. We definitely need every player to contribute their own quarter, no matter how small, no matter how big. So I think we need every player fit. And I think Christian Nolgard is also a very integral player to this group, in my opinion.
No, 100%. He really is. And he didn't look out of place as a centre back yesterday, and I think when you've got someone with Gabriel next year as well, that you can't do any wrong, really. You know what I mean? In my opinion, but also I also want to discuss quickly as well before we talk about the Chelsea game. Kai Havertz, I was very impressed with his little cameo yesterday, and for me, when I look at Kai, like even Bobby said, he could maybe unlock Victor Gyökeres. Who knows? I think with him, it's a welcome. I'm glad he's back, because people can say what they like about Kai Havertz, but for me, he's a very important squad player, and he's got a big contribution. I think he can make a big contribution this season, in my opinion, and I was pleased to see him as well, even with a couple of passes and stuff, and he was unlucky not to score himself yesterday, but he looked good. I mean, what's your take on Kai Havertz? I mean, he's got a massive part to play this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, it does. And I think just like you were reiterating, Brainy, we need every hands on deck. We need every player available, and it's a good side to see Kai Havertz back in the team. I think I was impressed with his cameo, and also we should also not forget that he has gone in a long-term injury. And like Michaela said, every time he's been asked about Kai Havertz, he's been saying, "Okay, we need to bring in him gradually. We need to, manage his recovery, manage his return back into the team." Good to see him play, get some minutes yet again. So I'm happy that he's back. Kai, for me, is not one of my favorite players out there, but I think I also need to understand that I've understood that is good with the way Mikel wants his team to play. We've seen a Victor Gyökeres who has come in as one of the best strikers out there in Europe for the whole of last season, and is struggling in the team right now. And for me, I think that is a system. It has more to do with the system that we're playing. Players like Kai can fit in that system, you understand. But I think Mikel also needs to get the right balance with how he wants his team to defend and attack, and how he would, want to get the best out of a player like Victor Gyökeres. Because I think every time we mention Kai now, we need to talk about Victor Gyökeres, because I think these guys play in contrasting style, contrasting skill set. One is a finisher, one wants to get involved in the play, one wants to drop deep and all of that, and that's where Kai comes in. So I think we will need both players, because I think they give what they offer is different on the pitch. I think they have different personalities, different skill sets. I think we need both, as it has looked with how we have performed in some games, and we need a variety of players who can give us who can throw in different kind of threat going forward, because we need goals to win new games. So it's a welcome sight to see I have it back, and I just hope that it would come in and throw in the battle and push Victor Gyökeres for who we start. Maybe the return of Kai Havertz could be that catalyst that also would push Victor Gyökeres to do those things he's also not doing very well on the pitch so much better. So I think it's a welcome sight that Gabriel Jesus is back. Now we have Kai Havertz. Let all three players fight for the starting shirt, and may the best man win. And I think that competition of places, the team is definitely going to benefit from it.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree with you more on that front. Really, just looking forward now, because and also you'd agree with this as well, with all our attacking players back as well. It just makes competition even more better, and you'll see players working twice as hard, and I think that's why, and I think we've benefited from Trossard's performances this season. Because he's been our best attacker this season, and I feel maybe with Trossard, I feel if we didn't make the signings and the attacking signings in the summer, I think we'd be getting, me personally, I think we could be getting lackluster performances from Trossard like last season. But this season, that's what happens when you have competition, and you want to stay in that level. And it's so important, you know what I mean? It really is important. I mean, I would love for us to get a left winger in as well, but if we don't, it is what it is. When I look at it now, as good as that would be, because I think if we were to get a left winger, I feel Trossard and Martinelli's performances would even go up twofold. You know what I mean? So yes, that. But anyhow, want to talk about the League Cup game. Full sign up. Semi-final, first leg at Stamford Bridge. If memory serves me correctly, the last time we played Chelsea in a League Cup semi over 2 legs, we did beat them. I think Conte was manager at the time. And then we've had some 2-leg semis for Chelsea where they've beaten us as well, and you know what I mean. But Chelsea now have this new manager, Bounce, and I don't know if you heard something about what Liam Rosenior said with regards to playing. Was it? I think he referred to Arsenal as a small team or something like that. I don't know if that was all. That may have been banter. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I heard over the weekend. But at the end of the day, if it banter or no banter, you'd be like, really? Okay. Because I think I think this could be the time where Mikel Arteta finally gets over his semi-final hoodoo. It's got to happen at some point, and it has to happen now, because we didn't do ourselves justice last season in the League Cup semi against Newcastle. You know, I know we had chances in the first leg, and in the second leg we were awful. You know, and that came a few days after we beat Man City 5-1. What do you think will happen in terms of Wednesday's game? And do you think it'll be a much stronger lineup than yesterday, considering it's a cup semi-final and we got Forest at weekend? What's your thoughts on what Arteta's going to do in terms of who he's going to select?
Well, for me, I think this League Cup game is a very important point of the season, because I think we need to win. This group needs to win this League Cup to give them that confidence that we've won something together. I think that could propel them to even greater things for the remainder of the season. I think when you win together as a
100%.
group, when you win together as a group, it gives you that belief. It gives you that conviction. Yes, you might have believed it, deep down in your heart that we can do this. But when you see it realistically, when you see the results, when you see the trophy, in the trophy cabinet, that this is what we've won together, that could be fuel. That could be hunger for their bellies to go out there and win the league. And, potentially go as far as possible in the UEFA Champions League and maybe win it. So I think this could be a catalyst for more success in the season. So I think we need to go out there come Wednesday night. Ironically, it's going to be the same time as the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be facing the host Morocco in the semifinals of the AFCON. So I would not be able to watch the first leg, but I would definitely see the recap because I would be watching Nigeria face Morocco for who's going to go to the finals of the biggest stage.
Yeah,
exactly, that's a cracker. So I'm expecting Mikel Arteta to go out there with our strongest squad, in my opinion. Bar Kepa and go, because I think Kepa needs to start that game for me. Because I think it's been the one that's been keeping in the League Cup. So I think we need to keep the faith with Kepa. Kepa also, decided to take on the challenge when he chose to come to Arsenal after the fantastic season he had with Bournemouth last season. But bar Kepa and goal, I would want to see our first team starting the game, because this is a trophy that we need. Mikel Arteta also has not won much as Arsenal's manager. This is an opportunity for him to add yet another trophy to the League 2 that he has won. So I think he needs to go out there with his best available squad and get the job done against Chelsea. It's not going to be easy against Chelsea. Like you rightly said, they have this new manager bounce now. For, I think, a lot of these players, it's a clean slate. They would be trying to give, a good account of themselves. But yes, I would fancy Arsenal to beat them and Stamford Bridge. I think we can. We have the players that can do it. We have the manager, in my opinion, that can come up with the master plan to get us to get the job done. So I think we should put our best squad out there, and yes, we can beat them at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. And so, what would be your score prediction?
I think it's going to be a close game. But I think I would go with a 2-1 prediction for Arsenal. I think we will nick it 2-1.
Do you know what? I would go. I'm going with the same. I'm going with the same as well, because I know there's this manager bounce, and I know everyone's gassed because they beat Charlton 5-1, and it's just it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting as well, and also Chelsea. What I find as well is, like, there are players there that have big egos, okay, and it's about, do they want to play for this manager? You know what I mean? Considering the work, considering the experience he already has as a manager, and what he was doing at Strasbourg as well. So I think that's one of the factors for me. I think if Maresca was still in charge, I think it'd be a tougher game. Would probably be a draw, and we can beat them at home.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Because the new manager bounce doesn't always happen. So hopefully it won't happen. This Wednesday. But just before we sign off, just got to ask you just something more, just with regards to the AFCON. But I've got to bring that up as well. Getting back to EFL is more important. Yeah, of course it is, Chris. It is important. You know what I mean? Definitely, I'm sure you will. Won't be any Carlisle players left if I was there. Oh, bless you. Well, what we'll do is just want to just before we sign off. Big game Wednesday night. I haven't seen every game, but I've been watching goals. I've been, I saw quite a bit of the game on Saturday, and I'll tell you where's this form come from? Because I've seen the Super Eagles, man. I know Osimhen wasn't there. There was quite a few of your players that weren't at the wasn't at the tournament down at the
Unity Cup. The Unity Cup.
The Unity Cup. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I felt against Jamaica, it was. Did you watch the games?
I did. I even did
Yeah.
a couple of streams on the Unity Cup. After all the games I was streaming. I think
Okay.
shout out to my Jamaica brothers. They were also on the chat on my streams. Big up, big up.
Wicked. Yeah, man. No, because the self and my other half, obviously, she was there, back in Nigeria to help. We both were, and also for me, I've got some allegiances to Jamaica in terms of my stepmother's from Jamaica as well. You know what I mean? So it was like it was a really good game, but I weren't expecting to Jamaica to fight the way they did, and sometimes I felt like your boys had just kind of eased off a bit every time you went a goal up, and then the penalty shootout was fun, but I was thinking I was actually gutted that Victor wasn't there because I would have loved to see him play. I would have loved to see him play live. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a great day out, and probably if it's held again this year, then we'll be going again. If it's held
Definitely,
here, so
you have to go, Brainy.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But what it is, I know players will also miss that day, but then from the disappointment of not making the World Cup to how you're performing now, for me, it's a statement. What is your take on everybody at home right now on how well you've been playing?
Well, I would love to start with, at the start before the AFCON, I was speaking with my brother on this podcast, Afro Joga Mbiziu Zamani, who's a reporter for CBS Golazo, reporting all the top stories in Africa and in South America. And he asked me what my thoughts were about the Super Eagles going into this AFCON after the disappointment of not making it to the World Cup in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico.
Yeah.
And I said one thing. I said, this is a competition that the Super Eagles needs to bring back the Nigerian faithful, the Nigerian fans to believe again in the Super Eagles story, to believe again in the Super Eagles. I think they have one job, which is to go out there in Morocco and win this trophy as a compensation to the Nigerian populace, as a compensation to the fans of the Super Eagles after the heartbreak in recent time. We should also don't forget that prior to missing out this World Cup, we failed to qualify for the last World Cup also. So it's been back-to-back absence from the World Cup, which is a bitter taste. We left a bitter taste in the mouth of Nigerians. And on the last AFCON, we also lost in the final. So if you look at it, it's been one heartbreak to another one for the Nigerian fans. So I've been expecting the team to react in the way they have reacted, and I must say I am proud of this team with how they have used that disappointment as a fuel. They've used it as a catalyst, to give a good account of themselves, to go out there and face the best teams in Africa and come out on top. And it's not just that we are getting the results right now. It's also the quality of football that we are playing. You can be in a cup tournament sometimes and you are just winning. You're just finding ways to win. You are just, getting past your oppositions up until when you can get to the next round of the knockout phase. We saw the last AFCON where we went all the way to the final. We did not play anywhere near this quality of football we are playing right now. We're going past the big teams. We went past, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Bafana of South Africa. But the way we are playing now, we cannot compare to what we saw at the last AFCON in Ivory Coast. We are playing a totally different brand of football. And I wanted to, rightly come on here. And since you asked me, and give the man who is handling, the Super Eagles right now, the coach in Eric Chile, is flowers, because when we failed to qualify for the World Cup, I was screaming at the top of my voice that the NFF should not make him the fall guy. The Football Federation should not make him the fall guy for the disappointment, because I think they did a dirty job before he, took the Super Eagles work. When he took the work, we had no wins in the World Cup qualifying group stages, but we had all the wins we had afterwards. When he came, we were able to, go to the playoff route. Unfortunately, we could not make it. So I think the man has changed the way this team has played, and I want to give him his credit. Where is that Flowers? We are playing a good brand of football. He's playing to our strengths. We now have a manager who is getting the best out of the group that we have, out of the crop of players that we have. We have a manager who's okay. He's looking at the abundance of attacking talents that we have, and is utilizing them squarely. He's utilizing them properly. He's playing to the strength of players like Ademola Lookman, players like Alex Iwobi, who also coming from the Arsenal side. Alex Iwobi, for me, he has been one of the best players of AFCON 2025, Brenny. Go back. And I know you said you've watched a lot of the goals and the highlights, and I know you have seen these passes from Alex Iwobi. He might not be getting the goals, he might not be getting the assist. We know that in recent times people want to run with the players who score, who put the ball in the back of the net or get the assist. But Alex Iwobi has been the orchestrator for the Super Eagles in AFCON 2025. All of the good things we have been doing has passed through Alex Iwobi. For me, he has really improved as a player. He has grown from the player who came out from Alien. So credit to Alien. Alien needs to take this credit with how Alex Iwobi is also playing at AFCON and playing for Nigeria right now, because Alex Iwobi has been tremendous. Ademola Lookman, I think, is in a run for who could potentially be the best player at the tournament. Victor Osimhen, I think that one does not need any other introduction. We all know he's the talisman of the team. He's the goal-getter, scoring important goals, stepping up when the team needs him. Calvin Bassey, also another Premier League player who has been, in my opinion, one of the best defenders I think this Nigerian group right now, they are doing very well. We are playing a very good brand of football, and I'm expecting us to go, one step further when we face the host Morocco. Morocco also has been doing fantastically well. They have Brian Diaz, who also is in the run of one of the players of the tournament, and I think we are going to have a huge task to stop him and stop the Moroccans. But can we get it done? Yes, I believe strongly that we can get it done. But the way this team is playing, something I wanted to mention is they have brought Nigerians back to believing in the Super Eagles with the way they're playing right now. And this is one of the expectations I had even before they kicked in the ball. So credit to the Super Eagles. I'm hoping that we'll continue to do all the good things we are doing and continue to improve, and hopefully come Wednesday night, we'll be able to come out on top against the host the Moroccans. But shout out to you, Brenny. You've been a big supporter of the Nigerian Super Eagles. Every time we're playing, you're always mentioning, you're always supporting. When you can, you even went out there to watch, the Super Eagles faced our Jamaican brothers. So shout out to you for all the support, and shout out to everybody who supported Nigeria out there at this AFCON. Thank you, Brenny, for also bringing this up on the stream.
No, of course, man. I was always going to bring this up, man. You know what I'm saying, with so and you see, with regardless of what time of the year this tournament's around, listen, it's important. It's an important tournament. You know what I mean? It is because the AFCON is our European Championship, if you know what I'm saying. So it's very important, and I pray that you win this tournament as well. And just look forward to Wednesday. And are you going to give me a score prediction, or what do you think?
Well, definitely, I will. I think the game against Morocco is going to be close, but I think we did a lot of good things against the Algerians that would love us to take as a blueprint going into this game against the Moroccans. But I think going forward, the Moroccans has got more threats. They have more prowess in their hands. I would predict a 2-1 victory to Nigeria. A 2-1 victory to Nigeria.
Yeah. I think for me, if I was to predict, I would say I'm going with 1-0. Don't ask me out. I'm just going to.
It's going to be a close game, Brandon. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah. I feel a clean sheet coming on. You know what I mean? And
I love the clean sheet.
I think you know what I mean? Because I think with the Nigerian boys, I think, to be honest, the way they're playing, I think they wish they could just play every day, including the final. But obviously, it just doesn't work that way. But hopefully, they can continue their good form. But Akros, man, no, thank you for coming on today. Really appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, always, man. My pleasure, man. Always welcome on here, as you know. And where can everyone find you?
Shout out to everybody. You can always find me on Brainley's channel. If you've not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. Hopefully, I'll be able to do more streams and jump on the channel. And shout out to the Football Takeover. Also, you can also find me on there, and also you can find me on Football Talk Shop, where I'll be doing more streams. I promise, more streams on there. I've been doing a lot more work on my other channel, Football in Pidgin. So if you are from West Africa, you understand Pidgin, or you've been around Nigerians, you've been around South Western Africans, and you understand a little bit of Pidgin, you can also me on the Football in Pidgin channel. But thanks once again for having me on the channel, the man, the myth, the legend, Branny. And if you've not subscribed already, please support the amazing work this legend is doing on this channel. I need the subscribe button, and also like the stream. Thanks for having me, Branny.
No, it's been great, man. It's been great, absolutely great. And hopefully, we'll be doing something. Doing something hopefully in the next few days. Maybe even Sunday as well. We can maybe do something Sunday morning and chat about the Forest
That's
game.
good.
Because I had something on, but now I'm totally free. So that should be interesting. We'll see if we can get Steve I want to make his debut. That'd be great. But listen, thank you all for tuning in as well. You know what I mean? So big up to yourselves, Chris Welsh, AFC, always, Cup Chasers, Dylan. Thank you all for tuning in, and catch up soon. Yeah, take care, everybody.